G'day everyone, Paul Daniels here, What I Fix Daily. Today I've got a USB stick that's had its connector broken off. Pretty typical sort of failure on these things. Thankfully it's a traditional style USB stick rather than one of those monoliths which are pretty much a nightmare to get data off. So hopefully we should be able to simply reconnect a USB plug and get our data off. Now, what I was going to do originally was use this pre-loomed connector that takes the stress off when you're connecting things. But in this particular case, I think it's these wires. I need to come up with something better than this. They're a little bit too scrappy, and I suspect they won't quite fit onto these 0402 parts. So in its place, I'm just going to try a sort of standard plug and just sort of sit it on there a little bit and make it connect up that way. To make it a bit easier, I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue under there and connect this up, and then hopefully be able to do the wires. First, however, I will wash it down while I'm waiting for the hot glue to get hot. Okay, you can see the damage. It's not too bad. The tracks have been torn off a bit, particularly on the data plus and minus lines. Pretty sure that'll be power, that'll be ground. And so what I'm going to do is just end up sticking this like that and then running the wires as appropriate. So we'll clean up what we can to make it easier for us. And we can see those tracks show up fairly well once I wet them. This ground's going to be a bit of a problem, I think, when I try to put the connector down. I'm just going to put this into the holder. Let's have a scratch around, see if we can really show up things. Okay, see this traced here, so that's going to there. Probably going to be easier for me to connect straight to the resistors. But it's good to confirm where these things are going. So this here most definitely is a positive rail. And we can see remnants of the connection there. Alright, now the ground is a bit of a problem because it's sort of, let's see how it's pulled out like that. There we go. Good push back down, we got lucky there. Hopefully there's no vias running straight through that. What do we got? These here are probably nothing more than thermal sort of cutaways on the copper there. The reason why you have those is when you're reflowing, if you don't have them, it makes it very hard, or you need a lot more heat to get the solder to reflow. So you put, most of the software will put these sort of voids around the pad, and it just helps reduce the amount of heat you require to get the solder hot enough on the pad to reflow. Okay, I'm just going to use some solder and get that off. Bit of flux down to help us. I think this should be fairly straightforward, which is good. What we like to have, straightforward jobs. Okay, that's very nice. Continue up. Yeah. We're going to put a little bit of solder on to leaded solder onto those resistors, and that'll make it easy for me to put the wires down on them. Let's put some leaded there. Whoop, that's way too much. starting to fiddle around with that a little bit too much. Risk messing things up. Come on. There we go. That's great. Helps a lot when you've got a nice clean workspace to work from on the board. Now this connector won't go into those cutaways on the board, but this is all we really need. Just to sit there and let us connect the wires up. So maybe I can get away without using hot glue on this. Might be able to simply tack down that ground and then partially tack down the mechanical tags. Let's have a look. Okay, that's tacked. Let's try these guys. We don't need to tack it too severely, or strong. Just enough to stop it moving around too much, so that when we plug in things, we don't put too much strain on the. That's pretty good. All right. Should be able to use 32 or 30 gauge on that power line. Something like that. That should work just fine. Put some solder onto the leg of the connector. Some flux. Should we just bend our way down? It's good. Cut it away. You don't actually have to actively cut it, just sort of notch it and then there we go. I'm going to be curious, is that going to be too big? Yeah, I think we can get away with this. Yeah, I think we can do that. Bit more flux. It's a bit dangerous. I shouldn't really have done this connection over the top of that resistor, because I'm sort of cutting into the resistor a little bit if I'm not careful. That's okay. Should have taken it off to the side. I'll take it off to the side on this one. Okay, give a bit of a wash down. Nothing too aggressive. Just want to clear things away so we can inspect it properly. Okay, we're going to do continuity checks here. Looks like my tips are a little bit dirty. That's better. Alright, so we got positive. We're going to make sure we don't have any unwanted shorts. Okay, that looks good. And again, these with the ground. Good. Good. We'll check diode mode now on the make sure we don't have a short. We've got 0.628, that's pretty good going. Okay, and I should have checked to see if we had, see if we've got continuity either side from the pin. Yep. Good. And we probably might not get a beep with this one, but yeah, we do. Okay, that's good. Obviously with ground, we need to find another ground. There's another ground. Probably can't find one in a hurry. That's probably ground. Maybe not. Oh no, I separated the... What about you? You ground? Yes, you are. Alright. So now it's a case of we just got to plug it in. Okay, so what we're going to do is we just use an extension lead here. Plug that in carefully. Swing that there. Let's see, LEDs on the end. So, if all goes well, this should light up properly. And we can see we've got a stick. Excellent. So now we do the data recording. And now we're copying the data off. Now, theoretically, this should just go through all perfectly fine. It's a little bit of a concern that we've dropped down to 130 k bit a second there, when we should be well and truly the megabytes.